No, this is your microphone.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Like your mind or okay,
We started figuring out what is health
this
look like
is
for me,
really
physically,
crazy.
mentally, emotionally, and work really hard on being good at you.
Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life. Soul Food on Smooth 98.1.
Yeah, I'll be good. Let's just come a little bit. No, not here.
Okay.
Yeah, and your microphone too. Move your microphone.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're ready for soul food, and I hope you enjoy the music bed. This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. My name is Oluwaseun, and right now it is the time for us to talk about your health and wellness, especially your nutrition. You can join us on YouTube, youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Again, youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. That's the channel you're searching for. I'm not sure why you are yet subscribed to our channel, but now is your time to fix it. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. It means you'll get a notification whenever we go live, and you can be a part of whatever conversation. Share your thoughts and opinion in the chat box option, or you can also come to WhatsApp, which is 0809-444-0981. Again, 0809-444-0981. And I have my guests in the studio. I told you earlier that they are two gorgeous ladies, and the camera is doing a little bit of justice to their beauty. So I will start with somebody you probably know if you listen to Soul Food. She is a wellness advocate. She's all about the good lifestyle, and in return, it gives you glowing skin, which is telling on her. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my guest, Boma Harry. Good morning.
Good morning, Shehu. Thank you so much for having my sister and I here today.
Wait, now, why did you have to say my sister and I? I was going to let them know.
Sorry.
Oh, this is
I'm
how
so
people
sorry.
really surprise us.
I'm so sorry. I'm very excited.
Well, the cat is already out of her bag. We cannot chase it again, but fine. So she decided to come with her sister, who is also a wellness recipe creator. So it means that it runs in the family. Everybody is not, one person is not all about the junk life and another person all about the fit farm life. They are all together. And in fact, they're going to be telling your story, how they got into this lifestyle and carrying you along. Hopefully you get to hop on the train and stop eating junks. So that said, please make welcome Belema Harry-Koleosho.
Yeah, you got that right.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Shehu.
How are you?
Very well.
I
Very
like
well.
you all are graining in my face. I'm green with envy right now that I don't have a shirt.
Aw,
How are you?
very fine.
How has
Doing
it
well.
been? Since the last time you were here, all about the feet life, not the feet life now, that's too generic, but you were, I remember us talking about snacking healthy,
Yes.
how to snack healthy, and now you're even doing more and doing the whole foods thing. But
Yeah.
first, I am particularly curious about that story. I saw it on your Instagram page, and I'm like, what? This is so unbelievable. So how did both of you in your family come to saying, I want to start eating healthy, not just healthy, specifically whole foods. So after that, we'll get to the definition of what whole foods are. So,
Okay. So thank you so much again, Seun, for having us. So we've had a history of health challenges in my family. I'm sure Shehu can remember some of the stories that I shared with her. My dad, many years ago, I think I would say roughly 14 years ago,
Yeah.
Was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. And then I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And then my younger sister had sickle cell anemia, and even Belema here had a colon
Challenge.
challenge.
Mm.
So what now led us to nutrition was when, my dad, he had like the
Septic
doctors,
shock.
he had septic shock, and the doctors literally said, look, you don't have much time anymore. We have to place you on chemotherapy, and this was the defining moment for us because we now started praying and seeking God's face. And thankfully, God revealed to my mom that my dad should change his diet. Yes, it sounded very strange, but my parents just decided to go along with that revelation. And they started, Belema and my mom, they started researching. And eventually we found that, nutrition is a very big factor, in reversing some of these challenges. And thankfully, after 2 months, he didn't die. He was still doing well. In fact, he started recovering. And then after 9 months, he gained back his health completely. And he went for tests, and the doctors were surprised that the cancer wasn't there. So with this breakthrough, with my dad, I also had to look into nutrition, and I changed my diet. And sometime from 2018, I stopped seeing symptoms. I stopped all the symptoms that I used to have. They all, cleared. Same for Belema. She changed her diet. In fact, she was supposed to be on surgery. Yeah, you were supposed to be scheduled for surgery, but after changing her diet, she didn't have to do surgery anymore. She got better. She was able to go to toilet properly. Then for my younger sister, who is sickle cell anemic, she stopped having her crisis. My sister has not had crisis for the past, I would say 10 to 11 years, and it's just been a very remarkable thing that has happened in our lives, and I also had to go to nutrition school, to learn more, to see why is this really important. And the truth is, a lot of people do not realize that foods are powerful. Foods are medicine. We don't realize that, and that's why we both decided, what, let's start this project, to let people know that, look, what you eat plays a major role in your well-being. You can't just go out there and just eat anything. You have to, when you're eating, you have to tell yourself, what is this thing doing inside my body? So the truth is, food can either be medicine to you or it can be poison.
thank you. Now that is very holistic, and we say this many times that food is really important. And it's quite interesting that you were you on any medication?
That's a good question. So interestingly, all the period I had the symptoms, doctors were always saying you need to be on contraceptive pills. Even when I went to UK, they wanted to schedule me for a surgery. And I remember that day when the doctors gave me the news that, look, you have to, do surgery for them to, do further investigations. My parents, I called my parents and I told them, and my dad was like, you know what? We've been praying and God has kept you this far, You've not had to take even the medications that they've been prescribing. So why don't you just keep praying and trusting God? Don't do this surgery, because it was a very invasive surgery, So I thought about it and I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it, And thankfully, I never took any medication. So once I just switched my diet, all I did was I started exercising, and then I took some supplements, which really helped to phase out the symptoms. Yeah.
I feel like you might not be a doctor's best friend right now. You know how doctors, we sometimes make doctors feel like the devil. When you hear somebody's testimony in church and you say, the doctor said I will die if I don't take this drug. But yeah, I just to balance it, what made you go further? Now, what made you not take the, that was actually risky. Naturally, that was risky, deciding not to take the medication or not going for the surgery and instead doing the nutrition thing. And besides that, during how many weeks, days, or month did you see this recovery and the total wipeout of the symptoms?
Okay, so one of the things that encouraged me not to take medication was when I researched on the side effects. I saw that some of the effects was that, when you take contraceptives, you can later on in life have things like cervical cancer, have also fertility issues. And then I was really young, so those were some of the things that held me back from taking that medication. And I just decided, look, if this nutrition worked for my dad, then it should work for me. So,
and his was cancer.
yes, which is way worse than what I was experiencing. So I said, you know what, Boma, just pray, trust God. And then I really started researching. That was another thing. I started researching and I saw that there were women who had my condition. I wasn't just the only one. And I saw what they did. That they literally, in fact, some of them talked about how they even took the medication. Yes, it fixed the problem temporarily, but the problem was still there. So I said, you know what? Why don't I just take a leap of faith and do more research and,
be your own lab rat?
Exactly. And it worked.
Well, grateful for you. Now let's come to you, Belema, as we move to what the definition of whole foods are.
Yeah.
So tell us what exactly they are and what were those foods that you started taking that helped you with your own condition then?
Yeah. So whole foods, to put it quite simple, are foods in their natural states, grown in natural conditions, consumed in conditions that are not over processed. Those are whole foods. Because plants grow everywhere, in every country. You have a varied amount of foods, and you have plant foods, you have animal based foods, natural foods. Okay, and then I talked about the processing. You have some foods that have gone into a lot of processing and to get a finished product, sometimes to get longer shelf life, to get more commercial value and stuff like that. Okay, foods that have a lot less processing that isn't more than putting it in your pot or your oven and getting it ready for you to eat. Okay, there is a science around cooking. Okay, if you so one thing I've seen is when people begin to research, you get to find a lot of things. You may not have the ready to go studies, that everybody's available to, but you have a couple of people that have posted their experiences, and there is nothing better than a recommendation, like when somebody tells you this what happened to me, which is basically what happened in my family. I mean, you can see what's happening to this person, you can see the change. So nobody needs to preach to you and tell you, oh, somebody said. You can see it, your eyes are open and you can see it. So for me, in fact, interestingly, I was going for NYSC at that time. I was going to camp, and when it happened to me, I couldn't go to toilet. I couldn't pass, physics properly. And my mom told me, you're the one reading for your dad and you're seeing stuff. Why don't you try and see what, you can do for yourself? And then I started reading and checking out, different articles, different testimonials, online, and trying to see, okay, what's there, and I began to draw the thread, so I started out with a fruit based diet. It was a 3 months, fruit based diet, just natural fruits grown in the ground, and when I moved on to camp, and camp is you don't have access to the largesse you have in the house. So I did basically that raw diet. In Mami Market, you have like your bananas, you have ladies that cook. So I looked for a lady that cooked just beans, and then told her, okay, just give me some onions and fresh pepper in the beans. And that was my one staple diet, during the camp period. So I just have beans with fresh onions and peppers, because they'll boil the beans and then they'll go ahead and do their whole ewa going and whatever. I just like, please, when you just boil the beans, just bring out a small portion for me.
Fresh onions.
Yep, fresh onions
And fresh pepper.
and fresh pepper.
That sounds like a Ghanaian food. Yeah, they are the ones that. Did you put egg beside it?
Absolutely nothing else.
Okay, that's not
and,
Ghanaian.
and every other time had fruits, oranges, bananas, because you find them around camp. And you have to do your morning drills, you have to do endurance walk, you have to do all these things. I mentioned that because a lot of people think that if you have this diet, like a fruits-based diet, you would have no energy,
Yeah.
you blah 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 blah. I was as fit as an ox. I did the endurance trek. I did everything. I did a pass-out parade, and you have to stand for long hours in the sun. And I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any, I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel.
Okay, so jump in there. How will someone who's listening and thinking about it, contemplating it, deal with nutrition deficiency? Because there is that chance for you to see. Now, I'm listening to you saying beans, fresh onions, and fresh pepper. You could be cutting out other nutrients. So how do you eat whole foods and not be nutrition deficient?
So this is why, so the first thing I tell people is you need to go for a nutrient deficiency test.
Yeah.
That's what they call nutrient deficiency test. If you go to any healthcare center, they should be able to conduct that for you. And when that is done, you will know the nutrients you're lacking. So when you know the nutrients you're lacking, all you need to do is feed on those foods that will give you those nutrients. Another thing is sometimes some people get to a state where their bodies cannot absorb certain nutrients.
Yeah.
So in that case, you also need to supplement on that nutrient you're deficient in.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always advisable for people to speak to someone, a health expert or a wellness coach or a nutritionist, for you to get that guidance.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go further into the whole foods, the accessibility, and what the market is saying about them. We cannot skip that question.
Yes.
So many people are of the opinions that eating healthy is expensive. Even though I used to be of that opinion, but not anymore. And I am sure there are a lot of people who are still in that camp. So for someone who wants to take that giant leap, they know, or at least they're trying to get convinced that your diet is the key to everything that is wrong with you. Not necessarily the drugs you're taking, but if you want to change your lifestyle, start with the diet. How do they go about it realistically? Boma, have you been to the market lately? Realistically, yes.
Okay. Do you want to take that or I should take it?
So
Start.
the first part I would like to address is portion control. A lot of people, the reason why they're obese is because they won't stop eating. Okay. So portion control is the first part. The second part is balance the food you're eating with the cost of treating an ailment. Okay, because whether you like it or not, whatever you're eating today, you are building yourself up for something. You're either building yourself up for health or you're building yourself up for sickness. Okay, so when you balance that together and you go to the market, you can get what you need. Then you look at preservation methods, to ensure that you are keeping the foods in a condition that will ensure it lasts for you to be able to consume it. And then when you actually cook it and put it on your plate, cook what you're going to eat, okay? And have that in mind that, you shouldn't eat the whole world.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's actually doable, if we have also, when you say lifestyle change, okay, everything about you has to change. The way you think has to change. Your mindset has to change. The way you see food. If you see some people at weddings, it's like they just came out from a war-torn area. They've never seen food.
They've never eaten.
You just attack every.
I never could tell. They've been hungry for days, and that's why you see a lot of mugomoyas. Who know the next wedding is their chance to feel their tummy. But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, I feel we can talk about whole foods without talking about cooking methods. Because the essence of us eating whole foods is to get the nutrients in the best form. So how do we cook these foods without necessarily damaging them? And I will tell you one of the reasons I'm asking this question. Sometimes you see people who say, oh, I have gone green and I'm eating a lot of vegetables. But what they are eating is more like fiber because they've washed out all the whatever it is inside the vegetable. And sometimes we overboil and oversteam
Yes.
over whatever it is.
Yeah.
So tell us some of those cooking methods that we should be thinking about to eat well and healthy.
Okay. So every food out there has a cooking method to apply.
Yeah.
Like vegetables, you have some vegetables that you should steam. So I'll just give example. So cauliflower, for instance, you can steam your cauliflower.
I hate that
You
thing.
can. Are you serious?
It's,
But
it's
really
like
good.
egusi wannabe. I don't like it. I've had
Oh
I
my.
remember having a stir fry of cauliflower, some greens,
Mm.
and it was just like,
Mm.
no, what is this? It tastes like disappointment.
Oh my.
Mm.
I should make some for you.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why we're doing this project,
Yeah.
because we're trying to let people know that healthy foods can be delicious.
Very delicious.
It doesn't have to be boring.
At all.
When people hear stir fry, when people hear vegetable sauce, they start having palpitations because they feel it's not going to be sweet. No, these things can be sweet. It's about knowing how to put your ingredients together, knowing the right cooking methods.
Yeah.
As in, are you going to bake that thing? Are you going to steam it? Nigeria, we're just used to only boiling, frying. And frying, I just want to put it out there. Frying is a bad
Way of
cooking method.
cooking, yeah.
Yes, it's a bad way of cooking. But there are healthy methods. When you boil with the right temperatures, you steam. Steam is great, especially for vegetables. Steaming is great. Your nutrients will be intact.
Yeah.
You have baking. Baking is another method. Very great. You know. Sorry to.
Because how do you enjoy a good chicken with maybe butter on the side? Now, please don't tell me butter is bad.
I wouldn't say yes to butter, but trust me, you can enjoy chicken.
Yeah.
How?
Okay, you can. Like you can boil your chicken, you can bake it.
You can bake it. You can
And you
steam
can
it. You can
saute
air
it.
fry it.
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, how do you you asked, what's the right way to cook? So when you rush cooking, you get nonsense. Okay. And that's why you need additives and everything to, Cooking is like an art. You have to be
It's a
like,
journey.
you have to be in that zen.
Some of us are
Take
not
the
fans.
chicken and marinate it.
I think we should invite
you know, yes,
over.
we
Let me
should.
tell you why, and I'm sure I am not speaking for myself alone. I speak
Yes.
for many men, especially, and women out there,
Mm.
because I think cooking might be an art, a beautiful journey, but then it takes so much time. Imagine spending one day to eat something that you will finish in 10 minutes maximum because you're talking with people. So
So
but-
you see, you can. That's why food prep is very important.
important, yeah.
Okay, you can prep your food like days before you
Before,
actually
yeah.
want to eat it. Okay, and so when you bring it out, it's already been prepped. Now you just want to do the heating and the mixing. Okay, and so it takes less time, and you get very good results. Okay, but when you want to do everything from prep to cooking at the same,
yeah,
and you want to do it in a
same
short
time.
while, no, now.
it's not gonna work.
It's like saying you want to read your whole semester work in one day. It's not possible when you've never opened the book before.
And always think of this, there is a huge benefit in taking your time to prepare your
Yes,
meals,
yes.
because this is what a lot of Western countries are even suffering right now. Because when you have all those fast foods, those GMOs that they're eating, you see a lot of them, they are growing abnormally. They are not growing naturally. Yes, I was telling someone the other day, I used to see people, all these guys that are looking so built, I used to admire them. But when I got to understand that what they are eating is what is making them like that, and what they're even eating is not done the natural way, I didn't admire them anymore, because those people eventually will come down with health challenges. So we need to think about the process of making our foods. It's very, very important for us to achieve, to ensure that those foods, they have the right nutrients.
Even your cooking
And-
utensils.
Yes, even
The
to your
pot you
cooking
used to
utensils.
cook.
Yeah.
you don't want us to go into that. But remember the part when I said I am not alone? So on YouTube, Oriol Feolawumi says, God will help us in the journey. Where is
Yeah.
the time? Food prep kind of sounds stressful. Work day, family day, etc. But that's the truth too. And that is why we're having fast food thrive.
Yeah.
Now, I feel we cannot finish this conversation or conclude it without talking about seasonings, the healthy seasonings,
yes.
and without also giving your recommendations about how to shop healthily, if there is anything like that, during this Christmas period. But I will take those thoughts after this break. If you're joining us for the first time, you're very welcome. You have 5 more minutes to get something useful out of this. But do not worry, the video is up on YouTube. So you just go to youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos, and we will save the video right there for you. My name is Oluwaseun, and my guests this morning are Boma Harry and Belema Harry-Koleosho. And we are live on Smooth 98.1. Love life.
World-class music.
Yeah.
How many minutes?
5 minutes more. 5 minutes. Smooth 98.1.
What does future forward banking mean to you? Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you? Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences. At Providus Bank,
Thank you,
we
it's
believe that
Zaron.
banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next
I
level.
didn't know
If
they
you
made
do not
such
already
until
have a
I
Providus
got
Bank
into
account,
that.
please speak with our
Yeah,
business
apparently Zaron is
concierge
really
on
doing
0700
really
77
cool.
684
And I think we should
387
have some
or email
giveaways for our
businessconcierge
listeners.
at providusbank.com to switch to a future forward banking experience. Providus Bank. Future forward banking.
All a part of the Sunday brunch experience. The Smooth Sunday Brunch Jazz Top 20. Top 20. Number 20. 19. 13. Number 6. 4. 2. Number 1. The Sunday Brunch Top 20 here on Smooth 98.1 from 2 till 3, where we play the top 20 smooth jazz soundtracks on the planet.
Love music, love life.
The Sunday Brunch Top 20, Sundays from 2 p.m.
Smooth 98.1. Right now, we want you to get down with us here on Soul Food on Smooth 98.1. And my name is Oluwaseun. I have Boma Harry and also Belema Harry-Koleosho in the studio. We're talking about whole foods, and we have the conversation has just gone into something else, including your cooking, the time you spend on cooking. And Gary Newton says, really, cooking is an art. You don't have to rush it. Of course, you say that, Gary. You enjoy, you love cooking. And then Wilson says, good morning to your guests, appreciating the conversation. I am on the same page with the guests. Cooking and preparing food for consumption should take time, not taking time in the true sense of the word, but at least take some time. I thought you people were going to back me. Men, it is quite, I feel, nah, this, I feel betrayed because I thought men were the ones all for the fast life, but no problem, no, what's the word now? I'm not holding any grudge or feelings. So let's talk about the seasonings, because there is a way that Christmas food, holiday food is supposed to sound. All the soul food, the soul food. And soul food will not be soul food without the extra oil, when the seasoning. What is outside? What is outside?
Oh my
What's that?
We want
So-
a clogged artery
Yes.
free Christmas.
Exactly. Just picture that.
It's soul food for Christmas. It touches your soul. So see, the way cooking is an art, eating is
A
is
joy.
deep. Yeah, connecting your soul. Have you ever? Now I know some people who, when they eat, they close their eyes
I'm telling you, I'm
because
that kind of person.
the food is singing. I can show you the
way,
word.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
So eating should, but there are some oils, butter, margarine. If you're squeezing your face right now, I'm not looking at it.
Do you know you can get the same feel? Like you said, spices. Spices are, it's the A1 of cooking.
Yeah.
Okay? Spices.
Natural.
A1 of cooking.
You better tell us those natural spices.
There are so
So
many
many.
spices. The thing is, when you go to the counter, look at the back, okay? and just have when you have ingredients, you don't see any chemistry assignment, no tetrahydro oxosulfate, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And take these spices home and get intimate with them. Like, try them out, smell them. I'm telling you, cooking takes all your five senses. You know, when you taste something, there's a taste when it has to be smooth, when it has to be rough, when it has to be like sublime, like when it has to like when something bounces off your tongue.
We
They're
know
like
them.
different types
Yeah.
of taste, and
yeah.
you get all these things from the spices that you use.
Yeah.
When it's a little sour and then sweet, when it is, peppery, but it's then cool, like imagine mixing pepper and you mix mint, in the same food.
Yeah.
So the thing is, just go to the stores. When you flip the back and you look at the ingredients, just ensure there are no chemistry assignments inside them. Take those spices home and just take a meal and, experiment. You can start with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, taste it and see what it tastes like, okay? Then you can divide your let's say you're doing chicken. You can divide it into like 3 portions. Okay, spice this one differently, spice this one differently, the other one. And then cook them, bake them. I will always say bake, okay? Marinade and then bake, because chicken has its own natural oil, okay? And when you put it in the oven, the oven is already hot, 180 degrees. Chuck it in there, 30 minutes, taste it, and then see which one you like. Then if you want to add, say, a little bit of more sweetening, a little bit more of a salty taste,
Lemon and all
lemon,
yeah.
Like
We're already
marinated.
giving our recipes.
Yes, we are giving our recipes,
Yeah.
and you will be amazed, what you
get.
I mean, all these chefs, their signature dishes, how do you think they come about it? It's experimenting.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to experiment so that food in itself doesn't get boring for you. I tell you, when you say Whole Foods recipe creator, okay, I will do a party for you. My sister's bridal shower.
Yeah, she did.
There was nothing in that party that was processed.
Yeah.
My baby's dedication, there was nothing.
Most
When
of the
I'm talking about the
parties
drinks,
organized,
the condiments for your salad, when you have bread, the bread freshly made from the oven, the sides for the bread, all freshly made with whole foods. It is absolutely possible.
And you feel the taste is very unique.
Very different.
It's very different from what you get outside.
Like, your brain comes alive. Like you know that feeling, you say you are eating, you're sweating, you're like, it's like you're having, like you're having an experience.
We have kids listening.
You're having an experience. You're like, oh my God. You know when it is, oh my God. You will have that feeling.
Yeah.
When are you having your next party?
Tell your sister.
Do you have space in your house?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Can I come for holiday?
You can come for holiday.
And you were speaking about chicken having their own oil. Please specify the kind of chicken. Is it the one we go to stores to buy,
Organic chicken?
Organic.
All those
chicken.
ones,
Native chicken.
the ones that are on a
Organic
diet,
chicken.
slimming diets?
Organic. See, grain-fed chicken.
Yes.
Wildlife chicken,
Wildlife
chickens that
chicken,
run around
yeah.
and eat shit, okay? Those kind of chicken, they have their own natural oil, and when you put it at the right temperature, it has been
With the
marinated.
spices.
My God,
It's amazing.
fry what?
And you see, one thing we all need to understand, why you need to focus on natural spices, because these things have antioxidants.
Yes.
They have phytochemicals that help the body,
Yeah.
that help to even heal certain things,
Yeah.
certain things that you don't even know.
Yeah.
Than going for all those salty artificial seasonings.
Yeah.
People need to stay away from salty seasonings. We
Yeah.
are so used to it.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I'm not going to mention any company.
Yeah.
No,
name,
don't.
But,
Yeah.
but we all know what I'm talking about. Salty
Okay.
seasonings are poisonous. We
Yeah.
need to stay away from them.
So I'll read those messages and just pack both of you out of the studio because I'm already hungry. Ali from our papa says, so excited to listen to interviews like this about buying food from the roadside and all. I used to buy cooked beans and roast potato or yam or plantain with sprinkle of diced raw onions and vegetables on it. The chopped raw onions and raw leaf utazi part was apparently what got me hospitalized with acute typhoid bacteria.
Yeah.
I will feel proud of myself when I finish eating this food like, oh, I just finished eating medicine. But it was revealed to me in the hospital that the water that was used to wash these vegetables might have been contaminated. And I know those days when I had time, I'll go a day or two on fruit and spring water. I'll make my own whole meal properly well done. And those years were my most healthy years. I never got hospitalized until now. That I felt like everything has upped its game and it's almost impossible to have the chance to start this lifestyle again. Well, Ali, this is your cue to go back to eating healthy. Then I got this one from Gary, who says, if we can complain of the time, then we should not complain of the rush effect on the body. Thank you for bringing the spices thing up. Most times people just buy every spice that is associated with a particular meal and use it without having in mind the expected output taste. The way spices and at what ratio they are combined will give you different outcomes. And then Ola says, good morning, Smooth, and to you, Oluwaseun, Association of Foodies in the studio today. Yes, please. Please ask our guests if they're planning any cooking this festive season or anytime from this weekend. I would like to check something from their variety of cookings. Yes. Please invite us.
Yes. And I just want to add here. So speaking of cooking, we have a masterclass. So people who want to learn to cook healthy and delicious meals, healthy and delicious meals, you can sign up for the class.
What about the ones I want to eat?
No, you just come to the house.
You just come to the house. You have to reach out to me. Exactly. You come. Yes, you come. For others, you might have to reach out to me. Let's see what we can do. Yeah.
Okay. And you can check out more what they are doing with the Whole Foods Project on Instagram. So you go right to Boma Wellness. And I think Boma's
Boma's Wellness.
Sorry. Boma with the S.
Yes.
Boma's, that's BOMA. S Wellness. That's WELLENSS. And you will find her right there. Oh, you're on Instagram, Belema?
No.
This one. She's there. Why get you her there?
Oh, so you can check out Mana Health Bar on Instagram. Yes, and of course all social media platforms as well as Boma Harry. Ola says you should give the house address as a special guest.
Oh, we'll consider that.
Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. And cheers to having more engagement and awareness about people eating healthy.
We need to.
Now, on the other side, which is about 4 minutes, we will have the kids join us, and it will be time for Curious Minds. That's the show for the kids between 6 to 15. They will be in the studio live, and I hope to have a great time as usual. So please stay tuned. This is Smooth 98.1.
98.1.
Hi, this is Layla.
No, seriously, I'm going to invite you to my
Station.
What am I doing? I don't want my eat some.
If it tastes like close to our side. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm in on the mainland.
You start with figuring out what is healthy for you physically,
Really?
mentally,
You're very close to my house.
emotionally.
So I need
Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life. Soul food on
Please,
Smooth
just tell me so I can fast ahead. If I need to take a laxative, no
You
problem.
fast, but when you come that day, and my party people, I was like, oh my god, you mean this is like natural? Are you serious? This is natural? I'm like, yes, it's natural.
Let's just take a picture. Who's going